ועד עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביום אחון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה לברך, לעולם עולמי המיה, יתברך, יתברך, וישתבח,
ויתפאר
ויתרומם,
ויתנשא
ויתהדר,
ויתעלה
ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה,
שמי דקודשה,
ברכו
לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן ועלמה,
תושבחתה ונחמתה,
דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו
אמן.
תתקבל אצלו תכון ובאו תכון דכל ישראל, קודם אבוכון דיבי שמיה, דיבי שמיה, דיבי שמיה, ואמרו
אמן.
יש לה מרבה מן שמיה וחיים וחיים, עלינו עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו
אמן.
עושה שלום
במרומה,
הוא יעשה
שלום
עלינו
עלינו
ועל כל ישראל.
I'll do while we're waiting is give you a short, brief rendition of the High Holiday sermon that I've started working on. Would that work? Yes. So we start with the words kol nidre. What does kol nidre mean? Thank you. That's as far as I've gotten. That's it. It's a process. It takes months and months and months to work on a High Holiday sermon. So far, I've got the opening question with the first two words. And here is Rosh Hashanah sermon. Shana Tova. Now, I think I know where I'm going to go from there, but I'm not 100% certain yet. So, thus far, Shana Tova. How about you, Rabbi Vogel? Have you any further along on your High Holiday sermons? You know, if we don't have sound, we can
plenty
sing.
of voices.
Yeah.
We got plenty of voices. I just can't use my oud.
Then let's get going. Can you all hear me? Okay, then that's really all that matters. Right, if you can hear me. If you can't hear anybody else, that's not as... Oh, thank you, Michael. So, Shabbat Shalom and welcome, Temple Aliyah and Shomrei Torah Synagogue, friends and family members of our Adult Bnai Mitzvah class. We are very, very excited to celebrate together with you this evening, not just our Shabbat service, but incorporated into our Shabbat service. The music, the melody, the participation of our incredible... Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we are all going to gather at Temple Aliyah for more of a wonderful opportunity to be inspired by these 6 individuals. So without further ado, why don't we get settled, sit into this moment, and enjoy the beautiful... A melody without words, and Zamru is a singing. So a singing melody without words.
Yai la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Let's hear your voices. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la.
To hear? Were you moved? Were you singing? Were you humming? Were you lying? Okay. No line. So hopefully you will continue whether we have sound or whether it comes on or not, doesn't matter, because the most important sound this evening is the sound of our voices, not the sound of a microphone. So join us as we sing together. You can open up your prayer books, your Sederim to page 11. page 11, and let us join together with the singing of Lechuna Ranana.
Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Adonai. Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Netzut Yeshenu, Nitkadma, Fana Betoda. Bizmirot, Naria, Naria, Lo, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana. Naria, Naria, Lo, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Adonai. Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Adonai. Let us sing. Let us sing, let us sing, let us sing, let us sing, let us sing. Arbaim shana kut bedor v'amaram toy levavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati ve'api im yevohun El menuchati.
Zan Stein is going to lead us in Shir Adonai on page 13.
We'll start out singing it as a nigud. Like this. Lai, 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 lai. La, 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 la. Ya, la, la. Let's all try that. Here we go. La, 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 la.
Well, now you're awake, aren't you? We are going to turn to page 20 and invite some members of our Adult Bnai Mitzvah class, Rachel, Flora, Justina, and Lori, forward where they will lead us in Roman move, bottom of page 20.
Hey, Mama. It's connected to Flora? Romamu? Romamu.
Well, I think God had something to do with that. Just as we invite, well, okay, God and Antonio. And some say they're one and the same, I don't know. But just in time for the beautiful voices of our Adult Bnai Mitzvah. We rise as we turn to page 21 for Mizmor LeDavid.
לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד מעוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו השתחוו, לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני
candles. Behind the candles, you're going to see, not they see, you see this Eitz Chaim, the empty Torah scroll. And this is a Torah scroll that many, many years ago this congregation lent to, on a permanent basis, to a community in Ukraine. And once the war started, the Russian attack against Ukrainians, we took the Torah scroll as a constant reminder for all of us that our prayers, God willing, that this war should end and the Ukrainian people should return safely in peace and security to their homes. So in the meantime, we've invited our class forward. They're going to light candles for us this Shabbat. So one of you, if you want to come forward with the matches that are right there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. Before we continue in our service with L'Chadodi, we want to, class, you may be seated as well. Rabbi Vogel and I want to make a brief presentation to our remarkable 6th Bnai Mitzvah. And we want to do it in the following way. There's going to be a presentation this evening as well as a presentation tomorrow morning during Shabbat services. There's a bracha, a blessing that we recite every time we engage in the study of Torah. It says, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. What does it mean, la'asok b'divrei Torah? It means to engage in, to deal with, to busy ourselves with the study of Torah. And we as Jews are commanded to engage in the study of Torah on a daily basis. But reality comes in, and we know that it's very difficult to do that because life takes over. There are so many things that occupy our time that very little of it is spent, if at all, in the study of Torah. So all the more remarkable to make a 2-year commitment to study Torah every single week, which the men and women behind me have done for the last 2 years. And all coming from different backgrounds, some well immersed in Jewish life, some brand new to Jewish life, all of them making a collective commitment to every single week engage in the mitzvah of studying Torah. Despite all of the other obligations that they may have had in their life and continue to have, they carved out this time for them to discover for themselves what it means to engage in the study of Torah, to make that our essence, our primary or at least a secondary job of ours, a responsibility of ours. In addition to learning with all of the rabbis of both of our communities, they also spent a great deal of time with the chazanim in this last year, learning Torah and chanting and making sure that their Hebrew was fluent and whatnot. And that is not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination. And for those family members who live with members of the Adult Bnai Mitzvah class, you know what it is that I'm talking about. And for those of you that learned Hebrew as adults or learned to read Torah as adults, you know what it is that I'm talking about. not an easy thing at all. So we want to offer our congratulations, and in just a little bit we're going to sing Shehecheyanu. But before we do that, Rabbi Vogel and I want to share these gifts with each one of you. And so I'm going to just briefly introduce the three members of Shomrei Torah Synagogue and present them gifts, and then Rabbi Vogel will introduce the three members of Temple Aliyah. So first, Flora. By the way, the books that we are giving each of our Bnei Mitzvah class are from Rabbi Brad Arts and Bedside Torah. An opportunity to continue, hopefully, their learning for many, many years to come each and every week. Okay, now the mics are really very good. So Flora, with your kind and gentle manner, your humble approach to all things in life, your sensitivity and thoughtfulness, we are so proud of you and so delighted to share with you this book. May it continue to inspire you for many years. We're so glad that you are part of it. Justina, who was inspired to begin this class at the same time as her daughter Naomi, who's going to be mitzvah in another month, so that they can learn together, grow together, understand Jewish life together. And while Justina felt that it was so important for her to be one of the educators for her daughter, she felt first, I must be educated myself in order to be able to share my love and passion for Judaism with my family. So Justina, with your abundant kindness and sensitivity and graciousness, this book, and may you enjoy it. And Rachel, please come forward. Rachel joined our community a couple of years ago online during the pandemic. She was searching for a home in which she could grow as a Jew, as she came to Judaism of late. And she fell in love with our community as our community fell in love with her. And even though it was thousands of miles away, there was very little that Rachel over these past 2 years missed when it came to learning and singing and participating in our community. Rachel, with passion and joy and uplift, you bring your entire heart and soul to everything you do. You have been an inspiration to us, an inspiration to the class, and we hope that you will take this book and continue to learn for many, many years.
Karen, it is amazing, each one of them, as it is the case always I find, Karen, you'll agree, each one has their own unique journey. We're going to hear more about that tomorrow when they each have the opportunity to speak. I remember, Karen, when you came, then it was just your husband, there was no kids, and a journey and searching for how we bring Jewish life into our family. You want to be an inspiration for the children who would come, and two daughters who are sitting here now. It's amazing. I know you can't believe where this journey has led you to. About 13 years later, after coming to the synagogue, to be able to complete this process, and we're very honored to be able to celebrate your bat mitzvah with you tomorrow. Okay. Lori, come on up, please. Lori's journey is one of interruption, of finding Judaism, and then having a hiatus of issues beyond her control, in which she was separated from the yearning that she had. And not even realizing how much it was calling back to her, she came into the synagogue to find her way back, as it were. I remember our discussions, and I know how important this community is, and have your family here with you. I know what that has meant, and the fact that you have now found that journey again, I know brings you a great sense of peace and of wholeness. And so we're pleased so much to be able to share your bat mitzvah with you. All right, Charles, get over here, you. Charles is the story of someone who grew up Jewish, and then you came to the synagogue just a couple of years ago, and said about 4 or 5 years ago, and I believe you said the last time you came with your wife and us, remember, the last time we were in synagogue really was our wedding. And we haven't been back. And we want to find out whether there's a place for us and to see what it feels like to be part of a Jewish community. I don't think you ever would have imagined that community could have helped you through your passing, to provide you with a sense of connection. And Hebrew does not come easily. It is hard for so many people, and you have persevered through all of that Hebrew. And I know tomorrow when you get to recite those blessings, how proud of yourself and how proud we all will be of that accomplishment for you. We hope that you feel a sense of growth and of connection, and we are so pleased to be able to celebrate with you your bar mitzvah. Mazal tov. Give it a hand. Go ahead. You can do that. We're going to join together in Shechianu. Let's all rise together, please. If you want to put your arms around a neighbor, you can do that. We'll join together in Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והחיינו לזמן הזה.
Celebrated Simcha this morning, the college graduation of his son. We just can't believe it. So he's going home for a celebratory dinner. Bnai Mitzvah, it certainly is. So please, we will see you tomorrow as we continue the celebration. Please say hello to Carolyn, to everybody, of course, and Shabbat Shalom. You'll find the Adult Bnai, page 23. We'll begin seated, and then when we arrive at the final stanza, we'll rise, we'll turn towards the door. Which door do you turn towards here? That one. What if they were coming from outside the Shabbat bride? I don't know which way.
Yeah, that's a good question.
She comes in through the entrance.
That's right.
There you go. So we'll rise at that time, we'll turn toward the doors, we'll bow and welcome in the Shabbat bride.
So this is something in 5/4, in case you're counting. And there's an opportunity for you to clap. So here we go. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nitavla. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nitavla.
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי אמור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. דודי,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר ומליצי מדי תורתך עמי, על גד בן ישי בית הלחמי, ערבה נפשי גאלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה.
לך דודי
לקראת כלה, פני שבת
בקבלה.
התעוררי, התעוררי כי בורך, קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה. לך דודי
לקראת כלה, פני שבת
בקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תיכוני, מה תושכי ומחרי. בכרסו עניי עמי, ונפתחי עמי.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה.
לך דודי
לקראת כלה, פני שבת
והגורים שסג'וסאי ורחקו פה מבלעי, יעשי סמאי אלוהי, כי תוסתתם ועל כהנה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה.
לך דודי
לקראת כלה, פני שבת
בקבלה.
ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי. על יד בן ישי איש בן פרצי, ונזנחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשורה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת בקבלה.
You may be seated. We're continuing page 27 with Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. Sing with us. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. One more time. ינופון בסייפות השני ברעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
Page 29.
אדוני מלך עדותיך נאמנו מאוד לביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those that read or desire to recite the Morris Kaddish on page 30, we invite you to rise as you join together in these words. Page 30. Yit Yadav Yit Kadash Shomrei Torah Synagogue.
שמי רבם ברח ורב מימי עמיה. Amen.
We all rise together this time, actually. Page 39A for the bar. שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרי והרבי. Be seated and continue on about the law of page 40.
תאוותך תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
We're going to call forward our Bnei Mitzvah students who will lead us in Shema and De'achta. Come on up. Actually, those of you who wish to close your eyes for the first 6 words of these words of oneness with God, with life itself, we join together with our Bnei Mitzvah students.
ובכל
Ashkivenim will call forward Rachel, Flora, and Lori. I think you're going to help all three of you. Beautiful melody. They hope you enjoy along with Ashkivenim, page 45.
Not yet. Go ahead, Rachel.
Page 46, we invite you to rise for the Shomrei, as we're going to call forward Christina, Lori, and Charles.
And Rachel.
I'm going down there, are you?
And Rachel.
And Rachel. Here we go.
Israel,
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועל מה דברה קראתי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Remaining standing for the Amidah, you'll find beginning page 47, whether the English, Hebrew, or private meditations of your hearts. We begin our personal prayers at this moment.
Yishalem, found on page 54. Itkerat Kirash Meiraba.
Amen.
Yamadi Rakirutei, Amikmachutei, Achayachol, Yonakol, Chayachol, Yisrael, Pangalogis Mangarit, Imru.
Amen. Heshmi Rabba Mevara.
Shabbat early. Do you know that? If you want to make Shabbat longer, you can bring it a little bit early. You can't bring it in like Friday morning, right? You can bring it in an hour or two earlier. That's what we do in terms of Shabbat itself. You can make Shabbat even a little bit longer if you want. Right? Some people don't want to do Havdalah until midnight. You go to some of the Hasidic communities. Right? They keep going. You're actually allowed to do Havdalah officially until Wednesday, but I don't think you extend Shabbat that far. So you can bring Shabbat in early, but it's interesting when it comes to when the day begins, that actually the new Jewish day doesn't begin until nightfall. So normally in the service we would recite the Sfirat Omer, the counting of the Omer, but because it's not yet the new day, it is not yet dark outside, we're going to skip that part of the prayer. But I will tell you, if you want to do it at home, it's a beautiful ritual to count these 49 days, 7 weeks from Passover to Shavuot, from the Exodus and freedom to the receiving of Torah at Mount Sinai, the completion, if you will, of that process of leaving Egypt. If you want to count those, you can. The blessing, by the way, is just a typical Baruch Atah that I'll go through, all Sfirat HaOmer. And if you want, last night was the 27th night of the Omer, I believe. Now, by the way, you don't say what day it is. That's one of the quirky things that we have about it. Because you're only supposed to announce it once you do the blessing and formally announce it. But I think if I tell you last night was the 27th night, you'll figure out what the next night would be tonight to count. So we'll acknowledge this counting period. We're going to continue, though, with Aleinu, with page 56. Let's all rise together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. אין עוד, 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 שלא שם חכנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. אין עוד, 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 אין עוד. לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. This time of memorial, we recall and reverence those who have gone before us, and I will be announcing the yortzeites of both communities of Shomrei Torah Synagogue and Temple Aliyah. On this Shabbat, remember the souls and lives of John Berger, Sonia Burrow, Harold Berman, Danny Blank, Samuel Graham, Eva Braverman, Maxine Carroll, Irvin Citronbaum, Leslie Cole, Jack Knight, Victor Donath, Jacob Eger, Doris Freeman, Maurice Glass, Morris Clymer, Bonnie Greenberg, Bernard Hans, Victor Hernandez, Solomon Haytow, Jacob Katz, Sarah Keller, Benjamin Kozlowski, Lillian Levin, Jerry Levitz, Celia Linovich, Marilyn Mappy, Francine Mays, Earl Migdal, Max Mizell, Rose Nathanson, Nate Nakanowski, Ruth Ostrin, Irving Hector, Sam Perez, Herman Rosenberg, Samuel Song, Alan Sedler, Yetta Singer, Sherwin Small, Toby Traeger, William Unger, Gohar Yashar, Leona Zedel, Margot Citron. From the Temple Aliyah community, we remember passings, year, anniversary of the yortzeit of Daniel Alpert, Julian Arweski, James Bachner, Abraham Blumenthal, Pauline Boydell, Earl Brooke, Sadie Cohen, Ike Cohen, Sarah Collin, Dina Elprin, Harry Ellsberg, Dorothy Engel, Dorothy Fagan, Anna Fox, Gary Frieden, Gerald Garnett, Molly Hart, Abraham Jacoby, Francis Kessler, Lena Kleinman, Deborah Kaufman, Peter Kordesky, Lorraine Crone, Daniel Leibel, Nathan Udell, Dora Malovitz, Miriam Malovitz, Yona Mandel, Leo Mansky, Joseph Martin, Gertrude Meyer, Arash Morani, Beth Preston, Harriet Radel, Joyce Reisman, Bernard Ryman, Ida Rodich, David Rosenfield, Jane Sado, Martha Savage, Harry Shopler, Sheldon Schuster, Louis Tenancy, Nay Shearer, Sylvia Sokol, Rachel Solomon, Hortense Strong, Naum Tabashnik, Lloyd Tassau, Dorothy Watman, Eileen Zaynes. So mindful of recent bereavements in our community, we want the passing of Saul Warshaw, husband of Vivian Warshaw. Funeral will be held May 20th. Details to be sent to Temple Aliyah community. We can. And we mourn the passing of Ruth Herskowitz. Marty and family are here, and our hearts go out to you. A woman, though, who lived 106 years of age. And that's something, the blessing of life and blessing of family. For all those who are reciting the words of the Kaddish, we invite you to rise. And if you are on live streaming and this is your sacred community, your minyan, to recite these words of the Kaddish, we invite you to rise and to join along with us on page 58. Those reciting the Kaddish, join together.
Amen. שמי רבן ברך לעולם ולמי עמיה. בריחו. אמן.
May God establish peace in heavens, grant peace and harmony for us, and all humanity as we say, Amen.
Amen.
May be seated. We've come together. This is like, I want to thank the Bnai Mitzvah class. any excuse that can bring our communities together. It's just so lovely. And Andrew, I know you enjoy this so much more. There's always just a little bit of a bigger smile on your face when you get together with everybody in the community and enjoy it. We certainly love it.
It's a blessing. It's such a blessing to come together.
Right? To be together.
Really.
And Rabbi Galko is here. Tomorrow she'll be running services over at Temple Aliyah with our class, but she wanted to be here with you as well to be able to celebrate. I just do want to acknowledge, hold on. Do you do your kiddush and everything here, or you do it outside?
We're going to do it in here. Yes, we have it. We have the kiddush. Yes.
But I do want to acknowledge, right, that you'll join us for those who wish a dessert only, just a light snack. If you're going home, especially for dinner, there's always room for a snack.
Dessert.
And dessert before.
Yes, it's dessert before dinner, the way it should be. No? Is that just me? Okay.
No, actually, my wife often, when we used to go to restaurants, would actually look, she'd ask them to bring out the desserts first to see what was worth saving room for.
Yes. Wow, great idea. Great idea.
Like, is it worth it or not?
Yeah.
If not, you just go to town.
Exactly.
But we will be an acknowledgement sponsored by Justina Schiller's parents-in-law in honor of Justina and the entire Bnai Mitzvah class. So we're grateful to your family.
Thank you.
Let's begin. Let us rise for Kiddush. Are we doing this right?
Yes, we are. In fact,
let's
if we
rise
could,
together.
Rachel, if you could take one of the little kiddush cups, and we have one thanks to Sumas. Yeah, we have one for each student, each graduate, and you will each recite the first part of the book that you know. We are on page 55. Savri Maranan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'masei v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zechel yetziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat, l'chaim. And Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel Tov to our Bnai Mitzvah and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oseh Shalom B'Roma. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'ibru, amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la. And we want to give a special shout out to Al Alfaso, who was our volunteer running our sound tonight. Thank you. We know we started out with some sound glitches, but it was a very complicated situation, and it was fixed, and it was resolved, and that's we're grateful for that, so thank you. And thank you, Steve Sachs, who was here at the beginning. We appreciate you.
Glad they came in.